Out of all the video games that I've played over the years, there's only one game franchise that I wholeheartedly respect and adore. A game franchise that I hold above all others. And that game franchise is Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a game that I've held near and dear to me for 2 years now. It's a game that I found at a time in my life when I needed reassurance and a push to keep going. This game is a treasure for me, and the games that have followed have taught me a lot. And there's so much more to these games than meets the eye. From the difficult combat, beautiful areas, S-tier soundtrack, it forms a game that would be considered as a masterpiece. And these games not only changed my life, but rather saved my life. Playing these games changed the way I think and approach things. I went from feeling lost and deprived to feeling like I needed a purpose. Think about that. A goddamn video game gave me a purpose. To a lot of people this sounds silly, but sort of is. But it's done the same effect on people more than you'd realize. The constant effect of dying over and over again, and then finally catching that glimpse of beating that annoying boss, is a feeling I haven't felt elsewhere. That feeling alone was enough to inspire me to do better, and to push through difficulty and uncertainty. Dark Souls taught me that failure is necessary, because through trial and error, you're bound to find the correct path to follow. And that's what happened to me. There's a lot to love about the Souls games. From stepping into Firelink Shrine for the first time, or beating that tough-ass boss after 2 days of being stuck on it, or the depressing-ass feeling you get from beating these games for the first time. I still remember beating Dark Souls 3 after playing the first 2 games in Sekiro. It wasn't really a happy moment. In fact, it was the opposite. This was when Elden Ring was just a rumor, so there were no other Souls games for me to play, except the PlayStation exclusives, which I still don't have access to. But when that last boss fight came down, I was in tears. Fighting the last boss. As I approached that bonfire, there was nothing more to play. This was it. The game franchise that helped me get out of the depressive state I was in. The game franchise that saved my life. The game franchise that taught me more than any other form of fiction. This was the end. And the last reward of them all. This. The track called Epilogue. The last track in the Souls series, and my favorite piece of music of all time. This was it, the end of it all. No more games, no more exciting and annoying bosses, no more discovering beautiful areas, no more thrilling quests, just a single piece of music. I just sat there, knowing damn well that there's probably never going to be another Dark Souls. I can confidently say that I wouldn't be here, making this video, trying to chase my dream, trying to improve myself, if it weren't for Dark Souls. A game that seems so simple, yet is one of the most beautiful and complex forms of fiction I've ever experienced. And I know that sounds cheesy, but that's just how it is. The things I learned from these games are things that keep me going today. The idea of constant failure until you reach success was drilled into me after playing these games. These games made me realize that difficulty and hard times weren't bad. They make you stronger. They're the things that build your character, that build you as a person. And these were just a few things I learned and experienced while playing Dark Souls. It's in tough times that I turn on Nameless Song or The First Hunter, and just indulge in the memories I've built from these games. Reminisce on the struggle I've endured, all that I've gone through, and remind myself that there's more ahead of me. Because at the end of the day, if you dare to give up on your dream, you're bound to go hollow. And don't you dare go hollow.
Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go hollow.
Ashen One, hearest thou my voice still?